And thank you all for attending this press conference on the launch of the Heroin Alert, HeroinTrap.com campaign. So we're first going to start with the Honorable Thomas P. Gordon, the County Executive.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity from everybody that is here today. Heroin, during my entire career, starting from '75 through now, has been a serious problem in Delaware. From time to time, it's gotten worse, and we're now at one of the worst periods. I'm very proud of the group that got together to put this program, this educational program together, involving all the aspects of county police, the government, paramedics, Heroin Alert, finance. The entire department came together to put together what I think is going to be an award-winning program. It's going to be something that really sets the high bar for education. Education is very serious. Everywhere I go, I see little packets of heroin packs. And you know the history. A few years ago it was pharmaceutical drugs, and we declared war on that. And now it's heroin. And we have, I see Joe Connor here from Connections, and he's waged a war his whole life on addiction, and he's going to be a big part of this. And the team we put together that we will explain with the following speakers. But I'm very proud to be at the place I am right now, to be a part of this program, and I hope it does impact our youth not to take that first shot, snort, shoot of the most dangerous drug in the world, heroin. So I turn it over right now to, am I turning it to you, or do I turn it over to
the CAO, sir?
CAO, David Grimaldi.
Thank you. First, let me thank County Executive Gordon and County Council, who came together as one government to address one of the most pressing public safety issues of our day. I want to give special thanks to AB&C Marketing for both their creativity and their professionalism. They far exceeded our expectations. To Public Safety Director Joe Bryan and Chief Setting for their outstanding leadership. These are the two guys who first identified this epidemic and brought it to the front pages of the newspaper in Delaware. Most of all, we need to thank the men and women in the Newcastle County Police Department who participated and worked tirelessly over the last few months to get this done. And bear with me because you need to know their names. Captain Watson, Sergeant Reynolds, Officer Sorrells, Officer Jerry and Blythe, Tracy Duffy, Sierra Dunn, and of course, Marie Allen. They went above and beyond their expectations, and they participated in a historic project, and I ask you all to give them a round of applause. County Executive Gordon, because of your vision, Newcastle County government is launching one of the most aggressive anti-heroin campaigns in the United States. This is a bold initiative, a major financial commitment, and it is without precedent in county history. An innovative marketing campaign aimed at prevention. What we are selling, essentially, is fear. And we are going to reach these kids before the drug dealers, the pushers, and the peer pressure. And if we are successful in saving one life, then I think this campaign will be looked at as wildly successful. Thank you so much.
You'll now hear from Colonel Elmer Setting, Chief of Police, Newcastle County Police.
Thank you so much. I'm tasked with running this police department and trying to make Newcastle County a better place to live and a better place to be. It is a very, very tall, daunting task when in fact heroin is the number one problem. It drives the property crime, it drives the youth shootings that are leading to some of our most gruesome homicides in Newcastle County. We have policed this thing up and down in every regard humanly possible. We have had the largest heroin seizures in the history of the state of Delaware by this department. We are working with DEA and other agencies. It's not the answer. We're still going to police. Last night, we took 6,324 bags of heroin off the streets of Newcastle County, additional weapons, and we arrested more drug dealers, not drug users. Many of them are, in our eyes, are being seen as victims. They're hopelessly addicted to this drug. So we can police, and we can police, and we can police, and we can fill the prisons, and we can fill the evidence lockers. We've done that. We've done that extremely well. We have to educate the next generation that heroin is a death sentence. And this is a very sobering campaign. It is a very surreal campaign. And we are going to make sure that the parents and the children see it, as heroin is not a recreational drug. At this point, I'm going to call on my PIO, Tracy Duffy, to show what this program is bringing forward as a message to kids. We can teach our children successfully to put on their seatbelts. We can teach our children about alcohol use. And we certainly can be honest about the fact that we are immersed in a heroin epidemic, and a dose of heroin is $5 a bag. So now is the time to act. We've already policed as much as this as we possibly can. We have to educate, and that's the program that we're putting in place right now. And it was impossible without the commitment of our county executive, Tom Gordon. You don't do this without money. You don't do this without support. I thank the executive for his leadership. Tracy?
Thank you very much, Colonel. I'm now going to have everyone direct their attention to the screen, and we'll just discuss the actual campaign. So it's the Heroin Trap, and that's what it's aimed to. That's what it's aimed to direct the youth to let them know that this is a trap, that heroin is a trap. And so the first video that you're going to see is actually targeting the teens and preteens. And this will actually show it'll run on TV as well as YouTube and cinema.
I didn't think this would happen. I didn't think Hill could start all this. I didn't think I'd steal from my friends. I didn't think I could use a needle. I didn't think I could do this to my mom. I didn't think.
And so this next video is aimed towards the attention of the parents and the other adults that are in our teens and our preteens' lives.
Yes, my son's overdosed. Please hurry up. I can't revive him. He's a heroin addict, so I can't get him up. Please hurry. How old is he? 17. Is he breathing? He's not responding. Hurry, come on.
And so both of those videos, again, the first one was aimed at targeting the teens. The second one are for the parents. So we know that a lot of times that the parents can influence their children as well as the other adults that are in their lives, such as coaches and teachers. So the website that everyone can go to is called theherointrap.com. And it'll bring you to an interactive game, which we don't want the kids to think that it's a game, because it's not. So this is serious. But because we are targeting them, we are connecting them to the social media, such as Facebook and Twitter. And so some of the things that we can do with this website is educate them through play. So they have the option of actually linking or logging into Facebook, or you can play without. If you play with by logging into Facebook, it'll make it more personal. And so after you log in, this is the screen that you will see. So you just scored your first bag of heroin. What should you do? And it gives you the options to smoke it, snort it, shoot it, or toss it. And we all know that the best answer is to toss it. So they obviously chose a different route. So we're going to say that they chose to snort it. So you're high. You need another hit, but have zero cash. How are you going to get the money? And so if you can see, the first one is steal it from a local area, and this is targeted to places that the young people or the teens that they've actually checked into or that they visited. The second one is another business that's nearby or in the area. And these are all places, again, that are linked to that personal Facebook page. And then the last option is head to another local area. So as a result, you died in the alley, jumped by two junkies looking to get high, game over. And then it gives you options as to where you went wrong. And you can actually tweet, well not you, but the teens can tweet those options. They can share it on Facebook, and then again you can play again. So heroin is near you. And what this interactive map actually does is it collects the data from Newcastle County as well as from the city of Wilmington so that there aren't any gaps around the city. So people actually see everywhere where there's heroin, where there is a heroin-related death, a heroin overdose, or a heroin arrest. And this, again, is probably more targeted towards the parents and those influencers, but at least if the teens log into this and they see that, they're going to know this is really serious. So there's also a tab for resources, and this is facts about heroin, how people become addicted, ways to get help, the signs and health effects of heroin. You can also schedule a free presentation of the Heroin Alert program on this website. As part of the campaign, we've also been able to get some ads on the local DART buses. And so this is what it's going to say. Once you're in, there's no way out. And we want people to understand and realize just how serious this is, how scary it is. Then there's also the interactive ads. And this is where we're really targeting the youth, the gamers, the people that are on the Xbox and the PlayStation. They can also visit it on their mobile devices. And of course we hit social media. So we targeted Facebook. The Heroin Alert program, obviously they have their own Facebook page. And so again, we're going to be tweeting and Facebooking and making posts about upcoming events. Just any information that we have about the Heroin Trap campaign. We'll make sure that, again, we're really putting a lot of information out on our Facebook page. We're using hashtags, and then we're waiting for the comments and the likes and the shares. That way, we're really driving traffic to the Heroin Alert or the heroin.com or herointrap.com website. So here it is, the herointrap.com, folks. And now it's Marie Allen's turn.
I began working with the Newcastle County Police Heroin Alert in May of 1998, about a year after my 21-year-old daughter, Erin, died from a heroin overdose. For 2 years, my family watched Erin struggle with her addiction. And in some ways, we were living her addiction. When we first learned that Erin was addicted to heroin, we were very uneducated and had no idea that this drug would destroy our family and take us to such a dark and lonely place. We were terrified and blamed ourselves. Surely we must have done something wrong. My loving, beautiful child had become someone I didn't recognize, and I didn't know how to help her. Because of the need to feed her $250 a day heroin addiction, Erin resorted to a lot of criminal activity, which landed her eventually in the women's prison for 5 months. After that, she was court-ordered to a rehab in Wilmington, and where she spent 4 months until the day the devil crept back into her life and consumed her every thought. The heroin had her backed up against a wall, and sadly, Erin lost the fight. An enormous piece of my heart was lost that day, but I knew I had to do something. I couldn't just curl up in a ball and die myself, although I wanted to at times. In the months after Erin's death, I began to feel the need to spread the word about this evil drug. I didn't want any other families to experience what we had been through, and I wanted to give young people a reason to resist any temptation to try heroin. I began by writing to some of the high schools in Newcastle County, asking if I could speak in their health classes. One school gave me that opportunity, and when the Heroin Alert team heard about what I was doing, they asked me to join them in their effort to spread the word. That was truly a blessing and the beginning of a very special time in my life, working with some very special people. I have had the opportunity to tell Erin's story to tens of thousands of young people in the tri-state area over the last 17 years. And by the responses and letters I get after presenting a program, I know that the message we are sending is not on deaf ears. We give the audience all the information they need to guard themselves against this nasty, evil drug. Not long ago, I met a young man at a treatment facility. He told me he had done every drug in the world, but he never did heroin because of what he learned from the Heroin Alert program and Erin's story. That, to me, was our success. I applaud Tom Gordon and County Council, again, for taking the initiative and caring enough for the youngsters in Newcastle County to approve the social media program, the Heroin Trap. I know this program will serve as some extra ammunition to reinforce the message that if you mess with heroin, there can only be 3 outcomes. You will either end up in prison, in recovery for the rest of your life, or you will die. The Heroin Trap will give them those same exact scenarios. Life is all about choices, and we want to stress that one wrong choice can change your life forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're now going to have Mr. Pomeroy, who is one of the partners of ABC Marketing.
First of all, on behalf of everybody, I just want to thank you all for taking the time to be here today to attend what we believe is the unveiling of an unprecedented and groundbreaking public service campaign. And we want to first recognize, thank, and applaud the county executive and the entire government for being bold enough to reach out and to be willing to engage in a campaign of this nature. It is an unprecedented effort, and in our research, we have not found a campaign out there that tries to hit a message as hard as this campaign is, and as much as you all were willing to make this happen. So we applaud you for that, and we thank you for that. The other thing I want to mention for everyone out there who had a chance to be exposed to this campaign for the first time, we have the pleasure of working on a fair number of campaigns that really do focus on the challenge of behavior change. This is not your average marketing campaign. The goal of this effort is to get into the minds of individuals to change behavior. It's not your typical product campaign. It's not even your typical public service campaign. It is intended to get into the minds in an unprecedented manner to influence behavior and then change behavior. And what I encourage each and every one of you to do is take some time to explore the campaign, watch the spots, go onto the site, see just how interactive it is. There's not another site of that nature out there, and it uses both the best of marketing tools that are out there, but also real hard data that comes from the county to be able to address this issue head on in a way that is unlike any other campaign that we've seen there. We're excited to have been part of this effort. It is a multifaceted campaign that is geared at going where the target audience is. It's really a campaign that we spend a lot of time with the county getting into the details of how this message is best to be received, where it's best to be received, and the best means of us getting out there and communicating in a way that, as I mentioned today, to the credit of the county, to the county executive, is hard-hitting and deservedly and importantly hard-hitting. So this is a great opportunity for us as a group to partner with some amazing people who were recognized earlier and deservedly so. They put a lot of themselves and invested themselves into an effort that I think we all are very collectively are proud of, but more important than that, it's something that we really do believe will over time have a tremendous impact on tackling what is a very, very challenging and deadly epidemic here in the county. So once again, thank you for our ability to be a part of it, and we congratulate you on being willing to engage in that effort. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pomeroy. And if there are any additional questions, all of our speakers are available if you would like an individual session. Thank you.